It's worrying if the ruling party seems to jump unthinkingly only because they have an opportunity to hit at the opposition party. I wish the Congress party, the ruling party, at the center, and by virtue of supporting the Aam Aadmi Party, a ruling party here in Delhi state too, does a bit of its homework much before they, jump all that enthusiastically to hit at the opposition. Particularly, their enthusiasm in jumping to say, oh, Gujarat, it's poverty line. There we go, we have an opportunity to hit at Mr. Narendra Modi. Just shows how they just don't even spend a minute in doing their homework. If anything, this is one another opportunity where they have allowed the boomerang to hit them back. It need not be me. I'm sure the media themselves have done enough work to realize that poverty line criteria are not decided by state governments. Poverty line criteria determination is an exclusive domain of the Planning Commission and therefore indirectly of the Union government. Whether it is done in 2004, 2009 or 2013 or 14, the UPA-led or the Congress-led UPA-led Union government has till today not been clear on who they want to call the Indian poor. The Union government is still not clear as to how many are there actually by their own criteria as families under or families below poverty line. So in determining the BPL, the Union government has been postponing under the name of, there is a committee, there is a socio-economic survey, there is a census, or whatever. They have continuously delayed deciding on how many people indeed are under poverty line. And this issue has been going on now, you can see, from 2004. The criteria that 501 rupees as income per capita or 328 rupees as rural income per capita is a decision which was taken in 2004, instructed to various state governments, and all of them are following it. And that, together with many other asset-determined criteria, whether you have a television at home or a cycle or whatever, all put together make up a basket based on which those families under poverty line is decided. Now, I'm sure, and I'm given to understand, that the number of reminders which have been going from various states, but particularly from Gujarat to the central government, saying, please review this, are there for everybody to see, and I'm sure the Gujarat government will release it by the end of the day. The number of reminders which have gone to the Union government saying, please change the criteria. This is no longer sensible to have this. And the number of reminders which have gone will all be coming out of Gujarat government just to say that since they cannot amend this criteria, and since because that amendment has to come through from the center, the Planning Commission and the authorities concerned, the Gujarat government has not sat back and said, okay, it's got to come from the Union government, but they've been repeatedly asking them, saying, please change the criteria. The Union government has not done it. And if Mr. Markan or any other congressmen are feeling very outraged at Sri Narendra Modi saying, you mocked the central government and now you're doing something different. Yes, he pulled up the central government saying, why are you doing this? Don't you know how many people are under poverty? What is the criteria for poverty as late as September 2013? It is because he has been continuously, his government has been continuously writing to the Union government to say, would you want to please review it? Why haven't they reviewed it? Does that power lie vested in anybody else other than the Union government? So please, Congress party, go back to the drawing board, do your homework, and tell who decides on the criterion for poverty. Not Delhi government, not Gujarat government, not Tamil Nadu government, not Andhra Pradesh government. It is the Union government and the Planning Commission which has to do it. So what is your haste in coming and pointing a finger at a state government as saying, oh, Gujarat, you have not done it. I'm sorry, you've gone completely wrong as always. If anything, I would like to proudly state here, and I'm sure many other state governments are also doing it. Since this criterion itself was found wanting, the Gujarat government, not just convinced by this, asset-based criterion, has, using that very same indicator which has been given to them, made sure they brought on 11 lakh more families to the list of beneficiaries. And therefore, if you strictly confined yourself to the union government's methodology of determining who are under the poverty line, in Gujarat, only 21 lakh people would have families would have benefited, whereas because they found it wanting, because they found it incomplete, the Gujarat government, using the very same criteria of income per capita, decided to bring in 11 lakh more families, and where they should have really been confining to the union list and giving only 21 lakh families, they added 11 lakhs more, and the total now stands at 32 lakh families. And if that is the case, does this show that the state government has been a bit more caring about alleviating poverty? As a result of which, the Supreme Court has praised the Gujarat government for taking such steps in alleviation of poverty. They praised Chhattisgarh for the PDS, for the way in which PDS is, weeded out of all the problems, the outgrowths, and made efficient. Similarly, they have praised the Gujarat government for taking this step for alleviation of poverty. And if you've forgotten that, Congress party, please do a bit more of homework. If you would just give me a minute, I have some document to show. There is a letter here with me regarding the public distribution. It reads, for allocation of food grains to states and union territories under targeted public distribution system, the Department of Food and Public Distribution uses the number of BPL families based on the 93-94 poverty alleviation estimates of Planning Commission and the population estimates of the Registrar General of India as on March 1st, 2000. Based on the above formula, the total number of BPL families for the country is 6.52 crore, which includes 2.43 crore Antyodaya Anna Yojana families. And as per these estimates, the number of BPL families in Gujarat is 21.20 lakh, which includes 8 under the Antyodaya Anna Yojana families. The allocation of food grains to these families is being made to the state government at 35 rupees per family per month. And the continuous stream of letters which have been happening between Gujarat government and the union government are listed here. I will certainly make a copy of it and distribute it so that you know that the Gujarat government's effort, dated 11 January 2010, again dated 5th March 2013, one more which is 6/2/2013, are all here for you to see that the government of Gujarat has chosen to interact with the central government as regards the rate which is determined by the central government, and the state government does not have the authority to refine it, recast it, review it. And therefore the Congress party should look into themselves and say, why couldn't they change it in 10 years? Much before they point a finger at the government of Gujarat and ridicule, which actually, that ridicule actually should belong to them. The other issue for which the leader of the opposition Rajya Sabha has already responded through his Twitter I raise it here because it's astonishing that instead of governing Delhi, particularly with those pet issues on which the people of Delhi had expected a lot from the Aam Aadmi Party, which is a minority government, supported by the Congress Party, the corrupt Congress Party, who they called as Chor, and who the Chief Minister of Delhi had even promised before the election, swore on his own children, saying, I'll never seek their support, today are sitting there to watch electricity prices go up, law and order remain where it was before, Northeast students not having any kind of sense of security. You still have a minister who would raid in the night into the households of Ugandan women. Today doesn't have the time to redress the problems of citizens of India who come from Northeast. And such a set of people who are otherwise sworn to govern Delhi are spending time press conference after press conference, picking up names of eminent leaders of other political parties just because it will give them instant attention and popularity. Whatever happened to that advice which Sri Kejriwal gave to the citizens of Delhi? If anyone is coming and asking you for money or bribe, don't stop them, just record the whole conversation. Why couldn't his MLA record the conversation where somebody taking the name of Narendra Modi and Sri Arun Jaitley came and asked him, saying, I will give you 20 crores. He should have recorded it. He's not obeying his own chief minister. What kind of an outrage is being carried on? Is it their fundamental right to insinuate, to level baseless allegations on which they themselves are retracting within half an hour? We caution the government. We caution the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP condemns this attitude of the Aam Aadmi Party to take the name of anyone who they choose to, mudsling and run away without even explaining or showing any kind of evidence. Is this responsibility? Is this a responsible way of handling government? Is this the alternative politics that you're talking about? I'm sorry. The people of Delhi expect much more from you. Aam Aadmi Party should just sit back and review as to what is the alternative politics they're talking about. They don't have time to govern. Electricity prices are going up. There's speculation that electricity will not be available 24/7. And here are they spending time picking up and insinuating names of leaders. And what more surprising thing happens in Delhi is seen through the Twitter of tweet of Sri Shakil Ahmed. As the Aam Aadmi Party MLA is alleging, even before it, they seem to know about it. What kind of an understanding prevails with the Chor, I'm not using my word, Aam Aadmi Party's words, to define the Congress? What is the understanding between the Chor Congress and the minority Aam Aadmi Party? Much before the MLA is giving the allegation here, Shakil Ahmed knows about it and tweets it. Is there any governance going on, or are they spending time only insinuating one another? Did the people of Delhi want this? BJP is the single largest party. We chose not to form the government. But those who have chosen to be in government, being supported by whom they call the Chor, are spending time only insinuating charges against people on whom they are unable to provide any evidence. This is absolutely careless politics. A politics which is done with absolute sense of abandon. We caution the Aam Aadmi Party that their alternative politics cannot be politics of insinuation or baseless charges. It is definitely irresponsible for allowing their own leadership to speak like this without evidence.